world has changed. For educators, this change just keeps coming at you. And to add to that, you're on the front line. You're not posting photos on Instagram of your latest Zoom meeting on your lounge in your PJs because you're not isolating at home. You're doing important work with children while people around you stay home to save lives. That aside, when change occurs, particularly of this magnitude, it is going to have an effect on us. After all, this was a change we didn't expect, didn't ask for, and didn't want. For some, it will have a bigger effect than others. But just as the world has changed after every big event, such as September 11, once everything settles down and we find a new kind of normal again, we will eventually adapt. Right now, however, we're still going through the event.
So for some people, this moment that we're in right now may feel a little overwhelming. After all, we're coming to terms with the loss of our old lifestyle. Psychologists have recently likened what we're going through to a process of grieving. The Kubler-Ross model suggests this occurs in 5 stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Now the thing is, not only is this process not necessarily linear, but not everybody goes through all the steps. Where one person may experience a little bit of anger, someone else may be experiencing a great deal of anger. Some other people may experience no anger at all. Now is also the perfect time to acknowledge that not everyone will be experiencing these stages of loss because not everyone is grieving. There could be numerous reasons for this. Some people may not have been as affected by any of the outcomes that have arisen from COVID-19, while some others could also have varying amounts of skills dealing with such events. Now let's think about our needs during this time. Maslow proposed that humans are motivated by a hierarchy of needs. Maslow believed that our lower needs need to be satisfied first before progressing up the hierarchy. At the bottom we have our physiological needs, and once those needs are met, we progress up higher to the next lot of needs, and so on. However, when an event occurs, such as what we're experiencing right now, it is not unusual to drop down a few levels in the hierarchy when our needs are being threatened. For example, if your need right now you're experiencing is the need for safety, you'll be less focused on needs higher on the pyramid, such as esteem. While the 5 stages of grief and these frameworks about needs are great for defining the problem and explaining how some people may be feeling, they don't really offer us many solutions to deal with the situation. So this is where I propose to you another tool in these transitional times. The Phoenix Cups is a framework that helps us understand and plan for our basic human life needs. We refer to these basic human life needs as cups. As humans, we all have a safety cup, we all have a connection cup, we all have a freedom cup, we all have a mastery cup, and we all have a fun cup. The difference is, we all have different size cups, which we refer to as our Phoenix Cups profile. Your cup's profile dictates how important a particular need is to your behavioural choices. So for instance, where one person may have a dominant safety cup and require more safety and security, someone else may have a smaller safety cup and require less need for safety and security. When our cups are full, or at least not emptying, we're experiencing a relative amount of well-being. When an event occurs, such as what we're experiencing now, this can have an effect on how full or empty our cups are, which can then negatively affect on our well-being. So let's look now at what's happening in the world and how that could be affecting our individual cups. Someone with a dominant freedom cup may be feeling a little restricted by now by not being able to go out. Someone with a dominant connection cup may be in disharmony about being in isolation and not being able to connect with loved ones. Someone with a dominant mastery cup might be feeling a lack of control of what's going on. Someone with a dominant safety cup may be feeling a little unsafe right now and not at all secure. And someone with a dominant fun cup may be feeling like a lot of joy has gone out of their world. All of these empty cups can affect our well-being and lead to that overwhelming feeling I mentioned at the start.
Here's the thing about an empty cup. It's still a whole cup. The amount that is in it, no matter how small, plus the amount that is empty, makes up your whole cup, and both parts are equally important. Let's talk about the connection cup as an example. If it's somewhat empty, the amount left in the cup represents our self-worth, while the empty part of the cup comprises what we call the will to fill. This will is a drive to get our need for connection met and increase our feeling of belonging and self-worth. If we take no action, complain about how empty it is, and focus on the emptiness, this will to fill the cup can overwhelm and exhaust us. But the will to fill is driving us to fill that cup. So there's a couple of ways to value and honour this emptiness. Firstly, we can spend time every day focusing on what is in the cup. Even if you only have a little in there, there will be something to be grateful for. Is it that best friend you can FaceTime whenever you want to, your colleagues and families at work, or that family member who always knows how to make you feel loved? Focus on that and doing more of that, rather than on the emptiness. Secondly, reframe the emptiness to recognizing this is a very necessary will to fill that cup to ensure that need is met. It's motivating you to take action. So with this in mind, make a cup filling plan. This will increase how much is in your connection cup and thereby reduce the will to fill to a manageable level. And now to something a little exciting. We're all experiencing a great deal of will to fill due to the emptiness of some of our cups. This is driving and motivating us to take actions that we might not have otherwise done. We're seeing so much kindness in our communities being driven by the will to fill the connection cup. We are coming up with new ways to understand how to stay well, driven by our will to fill the safety cup. We're seeing ingenuity and creativity around businesses and delivery of services, driven by the will to fill our mastery cup. We're finding new ways of creating joy, driven by the will to fill the fun cup. And we're getting creative to find new ways to experience autonomy, driven by the freedom cup. And that gives me hope that when we're through this, we'll collectively experience a global phenomena of post-traumatic growth.
As educators, you give so much of yourselves every day. If you're finding yourself drained, you have a responsibility to ensure you make time to fill up your own cups, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So now that we know about our cups and have a tool that can be used during these uncertain times, we need to come up with our own personal cup filling plan. To do this, you need to work out what your own Phoenix Cups profile is. Take our free quiz at www.phoenixcups.com.au to work out what your cups are. We also have resources and online courses available for educators, including some with free trials. And also be sure to follow us online so you can stay informed with everything Phoenix Cups. And remember, take care of yourself.